Good morning all. Happy Sunday morning, everyone. So what we need today is our mat, maybe a pillow. Coffee's always good for everything, but tea, whatever, or nothing, if that's your safe choice. Let's come to seated. And today's, we're going to focus on sides, being sided, two-sided, one-sided, doesn't matter. We're focusing on sides today and how to balance them out, which is actually all about in the newsletter. I did a lot about balance and fibre in the newsletter, things that you never knew you needed. Let's interlace those fingers. Inhale, reach high for the sky. A little wiggle, a little wiggle. Exhale, all the way down. One more time. Let's take it up. Inhale. And then exhale. One more time. Take it high to the sky. Exhale, let it break all the way down. Everything's going to come to a moment of stillness. Hands facing the ceiling, palms facing up. Let those shoulders struggle down. Stacking that head on top of the spine, sitting however's comfy for you, or lying down. It's a Sunday. It doesn't matter. So we're just going to come to that comfortable position. We're going to close our eyes. And then we're going to take that long, low, slow breath in. We're going to hold. And breathe it out. Take that breath in. And hold. And breathe it out. Take that breath in. And hold. And breathe it out. Big breath in. Feeling that tummy expand. And that hold, we're holding but without tension, without force. As we breathe it out, we can feel the shoulders shrug down a little further. The rib cage close down and in. But our spine still stays tall. As we breathe in, maybe we grow even a smidgen higher. We pause. And we breathe out. We breathe in. We pause. We breathe out. It's fabulous. And let's bat those eyes all the way open. We're going to do one of my favorites at the moment, which is really helping with my arm and menopausal shoulder. Okay, so ladies of a certain age, i.e. old bags like me, I've spent a lifetime lying predominantly on one side of it. And then we compress into the shoulder. We lift primarily with one side. We shift, we carry everything with one side. So there's a tendency then for it to get damaged as much higher. And mine was starting to niggle. So I have been doing this religiously, and this is keeping a frozen shoulder at bay. It may work, it may not work for you. Everyone's different. I say, taking the left ear to the left shoulder. So you just sort of take it over to 45 degrees. We're now going to inhale, keeping the head at this 45 degrees, Roll that nose to look up at the ceiling. As you exhale, you're going to take that nose down, straight line to the opposite armpit. As you inhale, you're going to roll that nose up to look at the ceiling. And then exhale, straight line to the opposite. So it's nice and slow and controlled. We're not whipping this head around. We're just gently moving it in that line, figure of 8, infinity loop. Now thinking about keeping that back tall. So the head is still stacked on top of the spine. So we're just lengthening off a whole pile of muscles, moving more than lengthening off. Because of the setup of our head is meant to be able to look behind us. Well, not like an owl, of course, but look behind us. Tilt up, tilt down. But because we compress so much on one side, it loses that range of movement, that easy ability to move, and therefore starts protecting itself by sending pain signals, which are mainly a warning system to the body to say, oh, something's not right here. What we're doing is just like oiling the lock, oiling the key. It's oiling the lock or the key, oiling one of them. To make sure. Now, of course, this range of movement doesn't have to be very big at all. It can be very small. And if you know that you have certain neck issues, of course, you talk to your osteochiropractor before you do anything like this. But they've probably already given it to you to do as homework. It's just you haven't done it. One more. And bring that head all the way back up. Fabulous. We're going to inhale, reach the hands high for the sky. Behind the shoulder, exhale, turn your nose to the left, press the hands behind. Inhale. And then exhale, turn your nose. Head back. Let's take a seat at 9 moon, reaching for the sky. And as we exhale, taking over, just circling that wrist round. Just letting that side body open up, keeping the seat bones anchored firmly. Then we're going to sweep that arm round, behind, place it down. Now, if that doesn't feel good, come to the front. Inhale, reach high for the sky. Exhale, take it over, circling the wrists. There is a proviso, that's with all things. You do what works for you. And if it doesn't work, you don't do it. Any questions or queries, give me a call, take DM later. And taking it behind. The range of movement we're not too great at doing. Let's take those hands all the way behind, fingertips facing forward, and we're going to come into Padmasana. Press those heels out, lift the chest up, hands to the ground, and we're going to curl that chin into the chest. Brilliant. Bring it all the way back. Slide the left leg in, taking it over, hugging. Sitting tall, so the hip bones, sit bones are facing that way. We're hugging this long leg back into the hip crease. Okay, and then rotations just from the waist. We lift up, shoulders turning, hands just flopping to the floor. There's no stress, no strain. And we're sitting tall, head on top. Exhale, curl that nose down into the chest. Inhale, take that nose to the sky. One more time. Exhale, curl that down. Inhale, take that nose to the sky. Fabulous. Gently unravel. And let's take it to this side. Breathe up. Take it, just becoming aware. Sides are different. You do things differently. So it might not feel so easy. So don't force one side to be equal to the other. We're working with what we've got. It's Sunday morning. A little bit of gentleness, a little bit of grace for ourselves. Okay. For me, this feels so much more clunky way to move on this side. Well, that's okay. Fabulous. Now, if you've got the space, we can continue the rotation that way. But I haven't got the space, so I'm going to take the rotation this way. We're going to come over into tabletop. We're going to take that cat and cow, curling that spine. Gaze between your knees, down towards your toes. Have a little wiggle side to side. And then exhale, curl from your tail feathers, either to flat back or through to cow. And everybody's back set up differently. You go as far as feels right for you. Head can remain still, you don't have to move the head. And again, curling from the tail feathers, taking us into the angry cat wing cut. A gentle sway. One side to the other feels quite nice. And then exhale. Take it through. Final time. Fabulous. Towards that point of stillness. We're just going to look around, wag that tail side to side. From here, we're going to exhale, curl one foot up. Help me up. This place near the hand. Have a little wiggle. Check it all feels okay. From here, we're going to inhale and rise. We're going to come into that proposal, hand in front of the thigh. Long arm goes all the way over to feeling that stretch along the side, up through the front of the hip flexor. Now remember, if your shoulders are feeling not so great today, we're taking that inclination just with the shoulders, hand stays on the waist. Brilliant. Now I'm going to move around slightly so you can see it. Okay, so from this position, we've got one more breath here. I've gone too far around now, sorry. From this position, this proposal, we're going to raise the hands to the floor. We're going to walk them around 90 degrees. We're going to pivot on the knee on the floor. We're going to rise up into our staggers, taking the arms wide, palms facing up. We're going to inhale and sink. Exhale and raise. Exhale, we press with that heel, drive ourselves back. And from here, we're going to take it down into side plank, supported side plank. Hand comes to the ground. That hand lengthens, leg lengthens, arm takes it overhead. And really take that arm overhead, or just keep it on the waist if that feels better for you. Circling that hand. One more breath here. I'm going to bring that hand down to the ground and we're pivoting. And we'll come back into that cat and cow. And we can take it back into extended child's pose. Sink it all the way down. Arms are wide. Forehead comes to the floor, onto a cushion, onto a pillow. You don't have to bring the tail feathers down to your heels. Just come to that position where you can. Just release and relax. Taking that breath low and slow. Fabulous. From here, we're going to take a half a moon. So we're going to walk our hands over to one side of the mat. Feeling that opening through the side body. I'm not sure if you can hear it, but the geese are going overhead in formation, so you can hear a lot of squawking. Or you might not hear a thing. And then gently walk your hands to the top of that. And take it over to the other side. Just noticing what side feels more restricted, tight, less movie, I think is probably the best word for it. On which side do you feel that you're holding with tension, which goes back off a bit. See if you can hold with ease, with grace, with breath, and a little bit of movement. And gently straighten up. Let's inhale, bring it back up into our tabletop. Okey-dokey. Taking the other bit long. We're going to exhale, curl it into the chest. Place it down. And the in lunge. Rightio, from here we're going to inhale. Come up. Fabulous. We're going to take our proposal. Hand to the front. Hand goes over. Really tuck the pelvis underneath. So we're in a nice long line. If you want to, the hand that you can't see, which is overhead, you can reach that thumb behind you so it's reaching that way to intensify the stretch. If you want to, you could just circle that wrist. That's quite nice. You could do as I do, have a little wiggle and waggle. It's a Sunday. Whatever we fancy. Fabulous. One more breath cycle here, and then we're going to rain those hands down. Brilliant. Take ourselves around. Boom, 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 boom. And we're going to inhale and rise. And again, arms are wide, palms out to receive, relax the shoulders. And we're going to inhale and sink. Exhale, press through and drive back. You're only going to wherever feels comfy for you. It can be a tiny movement, it can be a huge movement. There's no right or wrong. Brilliant. And this time as we come up, we're going to place that hand down. Come into that supported side plank. Extend that leg. Take that arm all the way over. Brilliant. Circling that wrist if you want to. Keeping it still. Or just keeping that arm all the way down by your side, lying on your side. It's really good. Arm here. Hand raisins down. Knees come together. We sink all the way back. Forehead supported on the forearm. Into that child's pose. Spread ourselves loose and relax. And from there, we're gently going to rise and transfer ourselves back into our seated position. However we want to sit, or you could just be lying down on the ground. It could be good. Coming to seated however you want to. A little wiggle of the shoulders. And let's just bat those eyes closed again. And let's just focus This time on the square breath. We're going to breathe in through the nose for the count of 4. We're going to hold for 4 and out for 4 and hold for 4 and in for 4 and hold for 4 and out for 4 and hold for 4 and in for 4 and hold for 4 and out for 4 and hold for 4 in for 4 and hold for 4 and out for 4 and hold for 4 and in for 4 and hold for 4 and out for 4 and hold for 4. And then just let your breath return to its regular rhythm in and out. As you're breathing in and out, just feel that tension totally ebb away. And as I like to say on the Instagrams in the morning, our mantra for the day is, I am enough. I am exactly the way I am. And back your eyes open. And I will see you either in classes tomorrow, or you catch us on the Instagram lives, or I'll see you later in the week sometime. Take care, gang. Have a lovely weekend.